Hi, welcome back. This is Matthew from AN Finance. Last week we talked about buying a Ferrari and how it only makes you feel rich, but doesn't actually make you rich. We also talked about how, if you invested your money instead of buying that Ferrari, you would have saved a lot more money in a few years. So my dad tells me to always think twice before buying a car, a Rolex, or some other big purchase. My dad tells me that it's just like a story in a book he is reading called The Power of the Dog, which is about the Mexican drug cartels, so it's not inappropriate for kids. He lets me he'll tell me anyways, just as long as I don't tell Mom. Just kidding. Okay, anyways, he starts telling me about a chapter he read. He tells me that it's about two women going on a shopping trip to New York. One woman is buying all sorts of jewelry at Tiffany's and expensive clothes on Fifth Avenue, while the other one wasn't buying anything at all. So she says to her friend, "Buy something. Stop being so cheap." Her response was, "I'm not cheap. I'm conservative." But in her mind, $1,000 is not just $1,000 to her. It's the interest on the $1,000 over the course of, say, 20 years. It's an apartment in Paris where she retires. So she doesn't spend money loosely because she wants her money out there working for her. Then my dad asked me, do you know what they are talking about? You know, the interest on the interest? I say, yes. Isn't that the power of compounding you told me about? It's one of the blog posts that you made me read like 5 times. My dad says, yeah, well, that's because I think the power of compounding is one of the most important financial concepts. It's the engine that turns $1,000 into $1 million. Anyways, so the power of compounding is where your investments grow faster and faster because they earn interest on the interest they earned in the prior years. For example, if you started out with $1,000 and got 9% interest, you would earn $90 interest after that year. In year 2, you would earn another $90 on the original $1,000, and also $8.10 on the $90 of interest you earned in year 1. In year 3, you would earn $90 on the original $1,000 and earn $8.93 on the $98.10 interest you earned in the earlier years. So that $1,000 turns into $2,000, $10,000, or more the longer you have it invested. And that's the power of compounding. But calculating interest is complicated. So he taught me an easy way to figure it out. Kind of like the dog years, he says. You know what the dog years are? He asked me. I say, yeah, like I'm born in the year of the dog. Then my dad laughs and says, no, that's the Chinese zodiac. When people talk about dog years, they are talking about how to convert a dog's age into human's age because dogs only live like 10 years, whereas humans live until we were 70 years old on average. So people like to say for every 1 year a dog lives, it's like 7 human years old. Oh, I say, that's pretty cool. Yeah, what I'm going to teach you is similar to that. We're just trying to find out an easy converter for interest that's just like dog years. Then he asked me, you know how to multiply by 2, right? I say, yes, of course. Everybody knows how to multiply by 2. Good, he says. Well, this is just as easy. It's what I call your doubling cycle. If you know your doubling cycle, then you won't ever need to calculate your interest. And this is how it works. First, there's something called the rule of 72. If you divide 72 by your average rate of return, and what would be calling your interest rate, then it tells you how many years it takes to double your money. For example, if your average return is 9%, you divide 72 by 9, which equals 8. So it means that your money will double every 8 years. Now, you don't need to calculate your 9% interest every year. That's complicated. Instead, you just have to think in 8 years, my $1,000 will be $2,000. Just multiply by 2. That's easy. So that 8 years in the example is what my dad calls your doubling cycle. Like the dog years. Every 8 years, your money doubles. So how does that work with more doubling cycles? For one doubling cycle, your money gets multiplied by 2. For 2 doubling cycles, it gets multiplied by 2 and times another 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Now it's 4 times your money. For 3 cycles, it's 2 times 2 times 2. 3 2s, which is 8 times your money. For 4 cycles, it's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 4 2s, or 16 times your money. And for 7 cycles, it's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 7 2s, or 128 times your money. If you know a little bit about exponents, well, that's what this is. My dad says it's 2 to the power for whatever doubling cycle you use. So for 7 doubling cycles, it's just 2 to the 7th power. But I just remember that it's 2 times 2 times 2 times however many doubling cycles I'm on. Now, because of the power of compounding, it's not just your original investment that doubles, but all of your interest that you earn every year that doubles. You see, it's not just a straight line. It is an accelerating upward curve. My dad says the technical term is exponential growth. I just call it a hockey stick. Well, I'm 9 years old, so I have 56 years before I retire at age 65. 56 divided by 8 is 7 doubling cycles. So if I had some spare money, I could be looking at that multiple. What if I had Ferrari money? That $240,000 would become over $30 million. Well, I don't have Ferrari money, but what if I had a more realistic amount? Say, $10,000. Well, with that, I would be a millionaire. So the lesson is, you should think twice about splurging on a fancy car or a gold bathtub like Mike Tyson did. Because it's not really the today money that you are giving up, but it's actually the tomorrow money that you are losing out on. And tomorrow money can be enormous. So figure out your doubling cycle and use it like your personal investing dog years. Then it's easy to see what you're trading off in the future for the purchases you make today. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed and learned something. Please subscribe to our A&N Finance YouTube channel and like us on Facebook. And look out for another video next week. Thanks. Bye-bye.